Although it's not quite like that, because thankfully the LGBT community has a number of political views, just as the rainbow flag has colours. And that should guarantee an evening of very lively debate for all of you. I'm thrilled that we've got such a distinguished panel. We have Clair Braund, is a recently married mother to one. She's a UKIP candidate. She's been volunteering at UKIP for around 3 years and is now chairperson for the UKIP Central and South Branch. She recently successfully campaigned to get a building company to show more respect to local residents and to compensate those residents who suffered damage to property as a result of their activities. When not UKIPing, Clair runs an eBay business specialising in craft items. Dargue is the Lib Dem parliamentary candidate in Edgbaston. He joined the party in 2009 and is a member of LGBT plus Lib Dems, as well as fulfilling active roles in the West Midlands Regional Executive. Andrew Mitchell, to my right, has been a Conservative Member of Parliament since 1987, an MP for Sutton Coldfield since 2001. Andrew was elected President of the Cambridge Union in 1978, is a former United Nations military peacekeeper, and is the founder of the Conservative Party Social Action Project, operating in Rwanda and Sierra Leone. He served in the Cabinet as Secretary of State for International Development from 2010 to 2012, and then briefly as a government's chief whip. This is Andrew's third Queer Question Time, because I think it's Peter's third Queer Question Time as well. Peter is an award-winning LGBT and human rights campaigner. He was a leading member of the Gay Liberation Front, co-founder of Outrage, and he attempted a citizen's arrest of Robert Mugabe in 1999 and again in 2001. Yeah. He stood as a Labour Party candidate for Bermondsey in 1981 and in a 1983 by-election. In 2004 he joined the Green Party, and in 2007 was selected as their candidate for Oxford East. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Queer Question Time panel.
It seems to me that the most important aspect of the economy is that we have to pay down our deficit and we have to start paying off our debt. Why is this? Firstly, because the deficit is far too high, at £90 billion still. I admit it's terribly high. Jack and his party have opposed every reduction. We inherited a deficit of about £170 billion a year. And you cannot go on paying out more than you are earning. It's not fair on the next generation who will have to pay it off if we don't pay it off, and so you need a proper long-term economic plan. That is what you will get from a Conservative-led coalition, and I very much hope that everyone here will decide that it's best to stick to that with all the difficulties and get through the tunnel to the more sunny lands beyond. So I hope that's at least a reasonable opener on top of my head for why you should be voting Conservative at this election.
Thank you, Andrew.
Why should we bother voting for us, certainly on the LGBT side, which is something we're very proud of as a party, going back through the Liberal Party and now the Liberal Democrats. So I'm not going to read out every single date, but going way back to sort of 1975, when the Liberal Party were the first to stand up for gay rights, and all the way through opposing Section 28. I'm standing in Edgbaston, where Jill Knight famously brought in Section 28, which caused horrid damage to the young lives of some people. We also believe in the L and the G and the B and the T, and we call ourselves LGBT+, because then there's lots of other groups that don't fit into the L, G and the B and the T.
I want to say just two things. First of all, have we always got it right in the Labour Party? No, we've not. But there is a long and honourable tradition going back to the 1960s, when under a Wilson government we first moved to end criminalising the people who were gay or lesbian. I was looking on the way here at some of the landmark events subsequently. The age of consent in 2001, adoption, equal adoption 2002, combating workplace discrimination 2003, civil partnerships 2004.
And nearly all parties have some good LGBT policies. But for me, overall, I think the Green Party has the best policies and the best record on LGBTI issues. We were the first party to support same-sex marriage, the first party to support LGBT inclusive sex and relationship education in schools, and the first party to campaign for an end to the lifetime ban on gay blood donors. But it doesn't stop there. We are not complacent. You know, we are the only party right now that's saying not only should there be a pardon for all men convicted under historic anti-gay laws, but also there should be an apology. Because a pardon is just like saying, well, we're going to show mercy and clemency. We need an apology to recognise that a wrong was done. And just on the final point, because there are other issues that affect LGBTI people, of course, on austerity, we're the only UK-wide party of any significance that is fighting against austerity. We don't believe that ordinary people should pay the price for the reckless decision and behaviour of bankers and other corporate individuals. And in terms of the government's record, under the Liberal Democrat and Conservative government coalition, the national debt has rocketed from 900 billion to 1,400 billion. That is not an economic success, that is an economic failure.